So today we'll see the 11th verse, 19th chapter, Canto 1. Anye cha devarshi brahmarshi varya rajarshi varya arunadayascha nana ऋषिये प्रवरण समेतान् अभ्यर्च्य राजा शिरसा pavandate. So Anye, many others, cha also, Devarshi, saintly demigods, Brahmarshi, saintly Brahmanas, Varyaha, topmost, Rajarshi, Varyaha, topmost saintly kings, Aruna Adaya, a special rank of Rajarishis, and Nana, many others, Arsheya Pravaran, chief amongst the dynasties of the sages, Sametan, assembled together, Abhyarchya, by worshipping Raja the emperor, Shirasa bowed his head to the ground, Pavande, welcome. So many saintly demigods, kings, uh, special royal orders called Arunadayas, the special rank of Raja Rishis, Arunadayas, from different dynasties of sages, they all appeared. When they all came together to meet the Emperor Parikshit, he received them very nicely and bowed his head to the ground. Okay? This is actually the etiquette. When elderly people come, immediately one should do that. And one bows down, automatically his ayu increases. Okay, Krishna Priya, please.
Hare Krishna, Pancham Pranam Mataji, text 11. Anye cha devarshi brahma rishivarya, rajarshivariya arunadaya swa, nanorshaya pravaran sameta, nabhyasya raja sirasa vande. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki de. There were also many other saintly demigods, kings, and special royal orders called Arunodayas, a special rank of Rajarishis from different dynasties of sages. When they all assembled together to meet the emperor Parikshit, he received them properly and bowed his head to the ground. Purport. The system of bowing the head to the ground to show respect to superiors is an excellent etiquette which obliges the honored guest deep into the heart. Even the first grade offender is excused simply by this process. And Maharaja Parikshit, although honored by all the rishis and kings, welcomed all the big men in that humble etiquette in order to be excused from many offenses. Generally, at the last stage of one's life, this humble method is adopted by every sensible man in order to be excused before departure. In this way, Maharaja Parikshit implored everyone's goodwill for going back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Even when Srila Prabhupada was in his last stages, at that time many of the devotees used to come and visit him, his god brothers. That time Prabhupada used to only fold the hands and ask for forgiveness. Though Prabhupada is not at all in any mistake, but this is a very wonderful attitude of a person who is sensitive. What they do, they get more blessings. They get blessings, they get well wishes. So Maharaj Parikshit did this. Sukho सुखोपदिष्टेऽवथर्तेषु भूयः भूतः प्रणामः स्वचिकीर्षतं यत् विज्ञापयामास विविक्तचेता उपस्थितोऽग्रे भृगृहीता पाणिः विविक्तपाणिः सुखोपदिष्टेष्वथ तेषु भूयः. Sukha means happily. Sukha means happy. Upavisteshu, all sitting down. Atha thereupon, Teshu, unto them, the visitors, Bhuyaha, again, Kruta Pranamah, having offered obeisances. Swa, his own. Chikirshatam, the decision of fasting. Yathu, Vigyapayam, Asaha, submitted. Vivikta Chetaha, one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs, first without being present, agree before them. Abhigrahitaha pani, humbly with folded hands. So after all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them the decision to fast. Okay. So Chikirshita means he's giving his decision, he's submitting. Vigyapayam asa, Vigyapayam. Generally, Vigyapayam means Vigyapayam is advertising. It's not advertising, it's submitting. It is actually submission. And then he clearly says that I'm going to fast. He humbly folded his hands. Okay. Gadadhar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. Text number 12. सुकोपविस्तेष्व अथ तेषु भूय कृत प्रणमाः स्वचिकीर्तिसितं य विज्ञापायम् आस विविक्तसेताम् उपस्थितो अग्र विग्रहित पाणिः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any decision, however important, should be confirmed by some authority that makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaja Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Mataji.
Rajovacha. Let's see what Parishit Maharaj says. Aho vayam danyata nrupanam mahattamanu graniyashinaha ragyam kulam brahmana pada shaucha durad visurshtam vata hariha karma. Aho vayam, what fortunate, what fortune we. Aho, aha, vayam. We are so fortunate. Dhanyatamaha, we are most thankful. Rupanam, of all the kings. Mahattama, it means we are fortunate among all the kings. Because you great souls, Mahattama, Anugrahaniya Shilaha, we are trained in such a way that we get favor, we get the mercy of yours. Ragyam, of the royal Kulam orders. Actually, the royal orders are considered to be Brahma Pada Shauchavat. The, the refuse after cleaning the feet of the Brahmanas. That is how we are rejected by the Brahmanas. Durat Vishtam. We are just left out. Why? Because of our own condemnable karma. Kshatriyas are not given importance by the Brahmanas. So they are into all types of activities. They eat non-veg. They are allowed to do that. They eat non-vegetarian things. They have women and wine. We have a wine and dine. That's what I was reading. The wine and dine, some bottle was written. So all these things Kshatriyas do. Is that Brahmanas, they keep them at a distance. They consider them as a shaucha. Shaucha. Shaucha means the place where a person passes the refuse. So in this way, they don't take them near. Like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never gave any personal audience to Pratapruta, King Pratapruta. So Pratapruta tried out so much. Ramandara also was trying out so much for him. All taking diplomacy, but used to bring Pratapruta near Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sannyasis, Brahmanas, they don't generally meet such type of people, though they may be very wonderful. But somehow by divine arrangement near the Vallabha gardens, Pratap was asked by all the devotees to change his attire and sing Gopi. Tavakathamatam comes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In ecstasy, just gets up and hugs Pratap. Or else the kings are always kept in a far distance. They are rejected. They are kept at a far distance. But here Parikshit Maharaj says, what fortune we have. We are trained in such a way that we get blessings of all great personalities, great souls. Narayana read.
Yes, Mataji. राजोवाच अहो वयं धन्या अहो वयं धन्यतमा नृपाणां महत्तमानुग्रहणीयशीलः राज्ञां कुलं ब्राह्मणपादश्चौदात् दुराद् विसृष्टं बत गर्ह्यकर्म.
Once again, Dhanyatama, Mahattama. Two words has been used. Dhanyatama means we are most thankful. Mahattama means wherever this Tama Shabd comes, word comes, that means topmost, like Guhyatama, the most topmost secret. 9th chapter is known as Guhyatama Yoga. Guhyatama. Tamas refers to here the topmost. So the great souls, they are the topmost, and we are also Dhanyatama, most thankful. Okay, read.
Translation Prabhupada by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: The most fortunate king said, "Indeed, we are the most grateful of all the kings who are trained to get favors from the great souls. Generally, you, sages, consider royalty as refuse to be rejected and left in a distant place." Purport: According to religious principles, stool, urine, wash water, etc., must be left at a long distance. Attached bathrooms, urinals, etc., may be very convenient amenities of modern civilization, but they are ordered to be situated at a distance from residential quarters. That very example is cited herein in relation to the kingly order for those who are progressively marching back to Godhead. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to be in intimate touch with dollars and cents men or the kingly order is worse than suicide for one who desires to go back to Godhead. In other words, in
What
other
happened?
words, nothing. In other words, the transcendentalists do not generally associate with men who are too enamored by the external beauty of God's creation. By advanced knowledge in spiritual realization, the transcendentalists knows that this beautiful material world is nothing but a shadowy reflection of the reality, the kingdom of God. They are not therefore very much captivated by royal opulence or anything like that. But in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, the situation was different. Apparently, the king was condemned to death by an inexperienced Brahmana boy. But factually, he was called by the Lord to return to him. Other transcendentalists, the great sages and mystics who assembled together because of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting unto death, were quite anxious to see him, for he was going back to Godhead. Maharaj Parikshit also could understand that the great sages who assembled there were all kind to his forefathers, the Pandavas, because of their devotional service to the Lord. He therefore felt grateful to the sages for being present there at the last stage of his life, and he felt that it was all due to the greatness of his late forefathers or grandfathers. He felt proud, therefore, that he happened to be the descendant of such great devotees. Such pride for the devotees of the Lord is certainly not equal to the puffed up sense of vanity for material prosperity. The first is reality, whereas the other is false and vain. Hare Krishna.
He felt proud that he happened to be the descendant of such great devotees. But this is not compared to the pride of this material world. This pride is not that type of pride. This prideness is the indebtedness which is showing to the great souls that because of your mercy, we are blessed. And also, here they said, generally urinals now should be different place, but nowadays there is amenities. Inside your bedroom only there will be a urinals and all these things. In the Vedic times, it is to be kept outside the house. It is not kept inside the house. These are the modern amenities. What to do? We stay in such houses where we have to do bathrooms, but all inside the house. However, generally they should keep the doors closed so that the negatives doesn't come inside the house. Keep the doors closed. You should also not use that modern pot and all closed. All those things is follow so that the negative things doesn't. Okay. Next. तस्यैव मेघस्य परावरेषु व्यासक्तचित्तस्य गृहेषु भीक्षणम् निर्वेदमूलो द्विजशापरूपो यत्र प्रसक्तो भयमासु धत्ते. Tasya his eva certainly may mind Agasya of the sinful, Para transcendental, Avaraha, mundane, Isha, control the Supreme Lord, Vyasakta, overly attached, Chittasya of the mind, Grahesha to family affairs, Abhikshanam, always, Nirveda Mulaha, the source of detachment, Dvijashapaha, cursing by the Brahmana, Rupaha, form of, Yatra whereupon, Prasaktaha, one who is affected, Bhayam, fearfulness, Ashu very soon they take place. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both the transcendental mundane worlds, have graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, appeared before me in such a way that out of fear, I will detach myself from the world. So as too attached, he is actually finding fault in himself. That is again the wonderful nature of a very good devotee. Devotee means who finds fault in himself. That is where Pranadapi Sunichena comes. Tarorapi Saishna. If somebody is torturing you, one gives blames to oneself rather than giving blames to others. That is the nature of a pure devotee. So Maharaj Parikshit is born in a wonderful family of great devotees, Pandavas. And although secured training in transcendental attachment for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family. That is what is given. So he was very much attracted to his family. So he says, now he's, the previous verse he was appreciating the sages. Now he's finding the fault in himself. He says, because of my own nature. Because of my own nature, I have got this punishment. And then this impure action, tasyeva me, here, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, tasyeva me, tasya eva refers to the great sin what I did, I disrespected a Brahmana by putting a dead snake around him, around his neck. And so Lord has delivered this fallen soul. Right? The curse is nothing but the deliverance of my sins, from my sins. So in this way, the boy became the cause of detachment, Nirveda Mula. So where the Lord resides, material attached people quickly become fearless. Neeraj Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol, Danvas Pranam. तस्यैव मेघस्य परावरेषु व्यासक्तचित्तस्य गृहेष्वभीक्ष्णम् निर्वेदमूलौ द्विजशापरूषो निर्वेदमूलो द्विजशापरूपो Yatra prasakto bhayma shudhate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. Purport. Maharaj Parikshit, although born in a family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachment for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he had to be detached by a plan of the Lord. Such direct action is taken by the Lord in the case of a special devotee. Maharaj Parikshit could understand this by the presence of the topmost transcendentalist in the universe. The Lord resides with his devotees, and therefore the presence of the great saints indicated the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of the great rishis as a mark of favor of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay, next. Tammopayatam patiyantu vipra Ganga cha devi dhritachittameshe Dijopasrishta Suhakastakshako va Dashatvalam gayata Vishnugatha Tammopayatam. Tam means for that reason. Amame upayatam, taken shelter of. Pratiyantu, just accept me, Vipra, O Brahmins. Ganga, Mother Ganga. Cha also, Devi, that is representation of the Lord. Dhirta taken into Chittam, heart. Isha unto the Lord. Dvija upasrishtaha, created by the Brahmins. Tuhaka, something magical. Takshaka, the snake bird. Vaida, Dashatu, let it bite. Alam, without further delay. Gayataha, please go on singing. Vishnu Gataha, narration of the deeds of Vishnu. O Brahmanas, please accept me as a completely surrendered soul. I have taken your shelter. I have taken shelter of Mother Ganga. She is representative of Lord. Let her also accept me in that way, for I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord unto my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical things the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. So that is the goal. Goal of life is Antakale Jamameva Smaran Tvakale. So one has to remember Krishna at the time of quitting the body. For that only this practice is going on. And to such an extent, it has been said, even if he is not remembering Krishna at the time of quitting the body, Krishna remembers him. Yadi vatadi doshena mat bhakto mam smare. Aham smarami bhaktah mat bhaktah layami paramam. Even if a devotee is not able to remember Krishna, Krishna makes a wonderful arrangement for the devotees. Now for Parikshit Maharaj also, Krishna has made a wonderful arrangement. He did not leave the body alone there. Yes, he was not alone when he was leaving the body. So many sages and everybody were assembled there by the will of providence. So this is how Krishna makes the devotee remember Krishna. He would have only remembered the curse. But because the devotees are there, he said, all of you continue singing Vishnu Gatha.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tammopayatam pratiyuntu vipra Ganga cha devi dhrishe Dijopasrishtaha kukastapshako va Dastakalam gayat Vishnugatha. Translation. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganga, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmanas created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of the Lord Vishnu. Purport. As soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganga and Maharaj Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet was sufficient guarantee to the king for going back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. Hare Krishna.
पुनश्च भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते चरति प्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सुयां यामुपयामि सृष्टिम् मैत्रेस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः पुनः again and bhuyat, let it be Bhagavati unto Lord Sri Krishna Anante, who has unlimited potency, Rati, attracting, Prasangaha, association also, that his Ashrayeshu, with those who are his devotees, Mahasu, within the material creation, Yam, wherever, Upayami I may take, Shritim, my birth, Maitri, friendly relation, Astu, let it be, Sarvatra, everywhere, Nama, my obeisances, Vijay unto the Brahmanas. So again, after offering obeisances unto all of you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in this material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with the devotees, and friend relations with all living beings. So what is the desire? If at all I have to take birth again, so let me have this ahaituki bhakti. Mama janmani ishware bhavatad bhakti ahaituki. Let my birth be having the complete attachment to Lord, and then association of devotees, and there should be a friendly relation with all living beings. And is what a devotee should always desire. So Puna here refers to, on the other hand, in whatever birth I take, may I have Rati for the Lord, excellent association with his devotees, and friendship with all living beings. May these three desires be fulfilled. ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न कांक्षति सम सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परम्. So here Brahmabhuta Prasanatma, that refers to the Gyanis. But again, if that Gyani gets the Bhakti, how is he? He is Samar to everyone. If such a Gyani who is Prasannatma, he gets the association devotees and becomes a wonderful devotee. Then he gets these three things. He is friendly to everyone, he has association, at the same time, he has a Rati for Bhakti. Okay. So, Kamakshi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam. Text 16. Punashya bhuyat bhagavadi anante radhi prasangascha tat ashreshu magatshiyam yam ubayami shishrim maitriyastu sarvatra namo tuje payaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Again, offering obeisances unto all you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relation with all living beings. Purport. That a devotee of the Lord is the only perfect living being is explained here in Maharaja Parikshit. A devotee of the Lord is no one's enemy. Although there may be many enemies of a devotee of the Lord does not like to associate with non-devotees. Although he has no enmity with them, he desires association with the devotees of the Lord. This is the perfectly natural because birds of the same feather mix together. And the most important function of a devotee is to have complete attachment for Lord Sri Krishna, the father of all living beings. As a good son of the father behaves in a friendly way with all his other brothers, so also the devotee of the Lord, being a good son of the Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, sees all other living beings in relation with the Supreme Father. He tries to bring back the upstart sons of the Father to a saner stage and to get them to accept the Supreme Fatherhood of God. Maharaja Parikshit was certainly going back to Godhead, but even if he were not to go back, he prayed for a pattern of life which is the most perfect way in the material world. A pure devotee does not desire the company of a personality as great as Brahma, but he perfects the association of the petty living being, provided he is a devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji.
इति स्मराध्या राजाध्यवसाययुक्तः प्राचीनमूलेषु कुचेषु धीरः उद्दण्डमुखो दक्षिणकूल आस्ते समुद्रपत्न्या स्वसुतन्यस्तभारः. Iti thus, sma as in the past, Raja, the king, Adhyavasaya, preservance, perseverance, Yuktaha, being attached, being engaged, Prachinaha, eastern, Muleshu, with the root, Kusheshu, on a seat made of Kushas straw, Dhiraha, self-controlled, Udanmukha, facing the northern side, Dakshina, on the southern side, Ule bank, Aste situated, Samudra the sea, Patanya the wife of the Ganges. Then Swa own Sutta son Nyastar given over Haraha the charge of administration. So he has given his son the charge of administration. He has given his kingdom to his son. And then Maharaj Parikshit that sat down on a seat of straw. The straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganges, and he himself faced the north. Just previously, he had given the charge of the kingdom over his son. Samudra Patni, that is, Canto. Okay. We'll read. Kusum read.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Pranam. Iti smarajadyavasaya वसाय प्राचीनमूलेषु कुशेषु धीरः उदन्मुखो दक्षिणाकूलास्ते पत्या स्वसुतन्यास्तभारः. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In perfect self-control, Maharaj Parikshit sat down on a seat of straw with straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganges, and he himself faced the north. Just previously, he had given charge of his kingdom over to his son. Purport: the river Ganges is celebrated as the wife of the sea. The seed of Kusha straw is considered to be sanctified if the straw is taken out of the earth complete with root, and if the root is pointed towards the east, it is considered to be auspicious. Facing the north is still more favorable for attaining spiritual success. Maharaj Parikshit handed over the charge of administration to his son before leaving home. He was thus fully equipped for all favorable conditions. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Last verse. Evam च तस्मिन् नरदेव प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव संगाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसन्नैः मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभिश्च नेदुः. Evam thus and tasmin in that Naradeve Deve unto the kings Prayah Upavishte being engaged in fasting to death, Divi in the sky, Deva demigods, Sangaha, all of them, Prashasya, having praised the action, Bhumo, on the earth, Bekiran, scattered, Prasunahi, with flowers, muda in pleasure, muhu continually, dundubiha. Celestial drums also made to be beaten. So thus King Parishit, he fasted into death. All the demigods, they all praised. Devi in the sky, Deva, the demigods. Prashasya, they had praise for him. And they were in praise, what they did, they were continuously scattered flowers over the earth and made the celestial. So in happiness, lot of flowers they were just pouring Parikshit Maharaj. And a lot of celestial drums were beaten to show their happiness. How wonderful is this king. Okay. Vasandani Prabhu, can you read?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thanks for the service.
Very good.
Evam च तस्मिन् नरदेव देवे प्रया प्रयोपवस्ते देवी देवसंगा प्रशास्य भूमौ व्यकिरं प्रसूनायर मूदमुहुर मुहुर्दुन्दुभ्यास च निधु. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus the king Maharaj Parikshit sat to the fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's action and in pleasure continually scattered flower over the earth and beat celestial drum. Purport. Even up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, there were interplanetary communications, and the news of Maharaj Parikshit fasting unto death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the order of Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planet who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, they were greatly delighted and thus gave tokens of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. A demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. He is always pleased with a devotee of the Lord, so much so that by his adi Devic powers, he may help the devotees in all respects, and by their actions, the Lord is pleased with them. There is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotee of the Lord on earth. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. So here we'll stop.
Mataji, can I
Okay.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Mataji, in all these shlokas, it is written that Maharaj Parikshit sat on the banks of Ganga, but I was under impression he sat on the banks of Jamuna.
Yeah, Yamuna. Because Yamuna, it is said, if 100 times of Ganga is Yamuna.
Huh?
And Yamuna are non-different. Hastinapur, there Yamuna only flows.
Yeah.
But it is said 100 times Ganga is purified. Anyhow, Ganga is a purified celestial river. But again, 100 times of her purification is Yamuna. That is why Yamuna is referred to.
Oh, that means Jamuna is 100 times more purifying power. Oh, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Because Krishna played, na? He did
Because?
pastimes. He kept his lotus feet in Ganga. That is how he crossed from Mathura to Vrindavan.
Ah,
Because
okay.
Krishna has kept his lotus feet in Ganga, in Yamuna. So that though Ganga flows from the feet of Lord, but Krishna keeps feet at Ganga, feet
Ah,
in Yamuna.
okay.
And that is why Ganga prays that you should perform pastime in my banks also. And that is where to fulfill her desire, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does his pastime in Ganga.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And
Hare Krishna
Mahaprabhu
Mataji.
prays, Ganga prays.
Okay, correct. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Neither do. Stop here. Manchakra Vishnu Vipasam Vidya Chapat Kalam Vishnu Vishnu Vishnu